of me. Help me find the stronger part of me, of me. Turn around, give yourself the permission. Just know that you deserve it. But sometimes I get scared and dismissive. Don't wanna be this way. Don't wanna be this way, yeah. Don't you worry. Take your time, take it slowly. No, don't give in so easily. Yeah, you deserve to be free, yeah. Stop this thinking. Take a breath, stop your doubt and no. Don't you see toxicity and worrying has no meaning. I don't wanna be this way. It's never easy feeling like you're so alone, and your heart feels like a stone. Think about it night and day, wondering if you'll be okay. I'm here in this place once again, suffocating. It's drowning me too deep. I know I've gotta stop this, so yeah, don't you worry. Take your time, take it slowly. No, don't give in so easily. Yeah, you deserve to be free, yeah. Stop this thinking, take a breath, stop your doubting. No, don't you see toxicity and worrying has no meaning. I don't wanna be this way. Navigating through the clutter in my mind, I do this all the time. Think about all you've done, it's a journey. Just know that you deserve it. Look ahead and keep on walking, walking towards the light. Oh yeah, stop this thinking. Take a breath, stop your doubting. No, don't you see toxicity and worrying has no meaning. I don't wanna be this way. Help me find the happy side of me, of me. Help me find the stronger part of me, of me. Turn around, give yourself the permission. Just know that you deserve it. But sometimes I get scared and dismissive. Don't wanna be this way. Don't wanna be this way, yeah. Don't you worry. Take your time, take it slowly. No, don't give in so easily. Yeah, you deserve to be free, yeah. Stop this thinking. Take a breath, stop your doubt and no. Don't you see toxicity and worrying has no meaning. I don't wanna be this way. It's never easy feeling like you're so alone, and your heart feels like a stone. Think about it night and day, wondering if you'll be okay. I'm here in this place once again, suffocating. It's drowning me too deep. I know I've gotta stop this, so yeah, don't you worry.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Music Mirrors Me, a lyric analysis workshop organized by the Beyond the Label Fest. Beyond the Label Fest is a movement started by the National Council of Social Service to address stigma faced by people with mental illness and mental health conditions to create a more inclusive society. My name is Evelyn, a registered music therapist, and today I will be talking and moderating the panel with my two fellow speakers, Jolene and Marcus. Would you like to introduce yourself, Jolene?
Hi. I'm Jolene. I'm a music therapist. I'm working in like a community setting, so I've worked with youths in music therapy. Just working with youths and using music to help them work through their mental health struggles and also just help them cope with daily life.
Hi, my name is Marcus, and I'm a local singer-songwriter. I just released my debut album titled "For You I Can," and the song that you guys heard before this live stream started was written by me, and it's also a song that talks about the inner struggles of like self-doubt and self-love.
Thank you. So today we will be talking. Today we will be actually sharing a very simple 5-step lyric discussion method that hopefully you can facilitate discussions with your loved ones or friends through understanding the songs that they like. So we will have some slides, and please do share the questions and comments you have within. Okay. So can I have the first slide, please? So 1 in 7 adults have experienced a mental health condition in their lifetime, which is a study conducted by the Singapore Mental Health Study in 2016. More than 3/4 of them with a mental health condition did not seek professional help in their lifetime, with one of the major barriers being stigma in society. Stigma often comes from the lack of understanding or fear. A review of studies on stigma shows that while people may accept the treatment required and the medical generic nature of a mental health condition, many people still have a negative view of those with mental health conditions. So mental health stigma continues to prevent people from seeking help for their mental health conditions. And sometimes the strongest stigma that exists is one we hold against ourselves. So an example of self-stigma would be, I will never get better, or I deserve this. So self-stigma prevents and delays the process of getting help, and having family and friends as pillars of support are vital to one's recovery. So today we are using music as a topic opener to help facilitate discussions between our loved ones, because it is a commonly used method by music therapists. So music therapy is the professional use of music and its elements as an intervention in medical, educational, and everyday environments with individuals, groups, families, and communities who seek to optimize their quality of life and improve their health and well-being. There's research, practice, education, and clinical training in music therapy, which are based on professional standards according to the social, cultural, and political context. So below, this is our Instagram account if you would like to find out more. Okay, next slide. So why do we use music? A National Arts Council study on music consumption survey has shown that Singaporeans engage in almost 2 hours daily of music listening. So by using music as a form of discussion, it empowers youth to use music as a coping strategy. And in a study done in the UK of Youth Music UK Network, 97 of the respondents said that mental health problems were indirectly helped through music engagement. Music Mirrors Me is really a way of opening pathways to discussions by using existing songs to facilitate meaningful discussions. So a common misconception is that in order to engage in music therapeutic activities, one needs to be a musician or have music background. So this is really not true, because lyric analysis is pretty much, I guess, if you think of studying literature and analyzing poetry, it's very similar in that sense. So sometimes music understands us better than others do because of the lyrics, because of one identifying with the journey of the singer-songwriter. Music can sometimes act as a companion, as the lyrics can help us express, understand, and feel more of what we are going through. This is also often augmented by the melody, the way the music is being arranged, and who the singer-songwriter was. So next, we will be sharing conversation tips with someone who is having a hard time as well.
All right, so we've come up with a little acronym called CLEFT. CLEFT is a musical term. So what it stands for is that C is, we're talking about context. So for context, I think we can ask questions like, how do you come across this song? Especially if your friend shares a particular song that, oh yeah, this song, I really connect with it, or I've been listening to this song a lot. We can ask these questions. For L, we can ask questions like, where did you first hear this song? And then we can move on to even ask, what does this song remind you of? Does it remind you of a place? Perhaps it reminds you of a person. It might also bring up certain memories of certain parts of your life, or it might even bring up emotions, certain feelings and that. So other than CLE, F would be feeling. So after hearing the song, do you feel better or worse? And we're not saying that better means good and worse means bad, but it's more of, is listening to this song, has this song been helpful for you in this time? Because sometimes when we listen to music, right, when we're feeling down, sometimes we want to have music that actually validates our current emotions at where we are. Perhaps it might help us it might amplify the emotional experience, and we might feel worse, but that might be helpful for you at that time because it actually helps you to release the emotions. And so feeling worse might not mean it's not helpful, but it really depends on what you need at that point in time. And also lastly, T would be talk more. We will always invite our friends to talk, to share, just to, open the space for them to share and to talk what they want to share. And of course, when we talk about CLEFT, why we are going through these questions is really because all our experience when we listen to a piece of music is different. So we might all be listening to the same song, the exact same arrangement, same cover, but the way that we respond to the music is different. The things that come up for each of us might be different, and so that's why when we use these questions to check in with a friend, is really to understand and come to know a little bit more of, okay, so when we listen to this song, what is going on for you? I want to understand what is brought up, when you hear this song. So without further ado, I think there's enough talking. So let's see it in action. I think Marcus has very kindly shared with us his song. So would you like to take it away?
Oh, okay. Let's start with my song first.
Yeah,
is it?
perhaps a brief introduction
Okay.
of the song.
Right. Okay. Yeah, so I wrote this song called I Don't Want to Be This Way. So the context is that I was going through a lot of a struggle of feeling a lot of self-doubt, because I think maybe I'm not good enough, and I have these unhealthy thoughts anything I do is not good enough, or I'm going to fail. Yeah, so I wrote this song called I Don't Want to Be This Way. Basically, it's just it's kind of like a reminder to myself based on my reflection on, hey, I have all these negative thoughts, and I feel that I don't want to feel these things lah. So I wrote this into a song, and usually to combat against these negative thoughts, I will try to think of positive thoughts. So this song will feature yes, I want to speak these positive, this encouragement to myself, and I don't want to, and at the same time I want to address and acknowledge the negativity as well. Yeah, so I wrote this into the song lah. Yeah, so I'll play a short excerpt of it since I brought my guitar. Yeah.
Yes, please.
It's never easy feeling like you're so alone, and your heart feels like a stone. Think about it night and day, wondering if you'll be okay. I'm here in this place once again, suffocating. It's drowning me too deep. I know I've gotta stop this, so yeah, don't you worry. Take your time, take it slowly. No, don't give in so easily. Yeah, you deserve to be free, yeah. Stop this thinking, take a breath, stop your doubting. No, don't you see toxicity? Worrying has no meaning. I don't wanna be this way.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Wow. Very nice, very nice.
You wanna talk more about the lyrics or like flesh it out or something? Yeah.
Yeah. So, Jolene, any questions using CLEFT or something to find out a bit more about what Marcus?
Yeah, I think it's very very rare that we get a chance to actually talk with a songwriter of a song. And I think when we have that chance to actually understand the story behind a song, I think that really brings the song to life. It really adds a depth of meaning to it. So why not just share with us your songwriting process? Like,
Actually, just now I kind of like did a bit of background for the song, but for me, in particular, my self-doubt comes from, I think, me pursuing music. You know, it's something where maybe it's a little bit unconventional. So I think for myself, I hold myself to a lot of like high expectations, and like I feel the pressure to either like succeed or to do well, or even to just like to prove to myself that I'm making the right decision. Yeah, and I'm also quite afraid of like failure. So because of that, there's a lot of like self-doubt in my mind. I always wonder whether am I doing enough and whether I'm good enough. Yeah, and also in terms of like maybe other things that I do also for in terms of like love also, I also feel like because I just feel like I'm not good enough also. Yeah, so all these thoughts like cause this kind of like self-doubt and negativity in me. Yeah, that I often experience. So I think the most of the verses, like, it's never easy, I'm feeling so alone. All those things describe like how I'm feeling when I'm going through maybe the day to day. And then the chorus is more of like, as I mentioned, like the dichotomy between or the juxtaposition between wanting to encourage yourself versus acknowledging these negative thoughts. Yeah, I think like acknowledging the bad stuff is also like the first step to address it, and then also like you have to sort of do like replacement, right? So I replace it with like the encouraging notes lah. Yeah. So even in the later in the bridge as well, like help me find the happy side, the stronger part. It's also all these are just like reminders to myself, but at the same time, it's also it could be saying this to like for me when I wrote this song is me talking to myself lah. Yeah, but I guess if you were to listen to it. If a listener were to listen to it, then it will be like going through their own reflection process as well. Lor. Yeah.
I think over here it also gives a very good example of how music can be a companion, that a listener might find a comfort, right, in reading the lyrics and singing along. Because what I really, really liked about this song, and if people like you have tuned in to the program way earlier, you will realize that the holding music is actually Marcus's song. So, we've been listening to it for a long time, and I don't get sick of it because the instrumentation is so smooth that it doesn't quite reflect the very, the nature of somebody with depression or mental health condition. The melody is actually something really easy and comfortable to listen to. Yeah.
So that's actually it was done on purpose also. So this one is the acoustic version. So it's a bit like you mentioned. It's like more smooth, kind of like almost you're in a bedroom, you're reflecting about it. Yeah, but actually the original arrangement and this song was actually originally written in Chinese. So the original arrangement is quite like it's quite pop. It's quite like more upbeat, and I wanted to do that to juxtapose against like. Because on the outside, we always present the best version of ourselves. We don't really talk about it, but we're actually struggling inside. We have all these things that we're going through. So, but usually we don't really say that lah. Usually we're like, oh, things are okay. When you're asked like, how are you? Oh, I'm fine. Yeah. But actually, are we really fine? Yeah, so that was also intentional as well to portray this in a song.
But I also feel like the easiness of the music and like, you know, how lighthearted it is, it also kind of gives a message that it's okay that you're having such struggles. It's okay to be, you know, having that push and pull that, you know, you want to be this way, but then again, not quite. Like there's a alright place if that's where you are, then yeah, it's cool.
That was the intention, yeah. And I guess encouragement for anyone who's listening also that like if you're going through, you know, we all go through different types of like self-doubt or different types of, we all have our struggles lah. Yeah, but I guess through this song, my encouragement is that it's okay, you know, it's the cliche, right? It's okay not to be okay, and it's okay to have this struggle. Yeah, but if at the end of the day, if the desire is that we don't want to stay in that place, I think that is really the battle is, I won't say half won, it's won already, yeah. And then it's all about like just going through this process time after time, yeah.
Absolutely. I think we can spend more time just fleshing out some of the lyrics again for this song because it's just so nice, and you know, what a privilege to have a singer-songwriter here to talk about his song with us today. So Marcus, what lyrics actually stood out to you as you are singing it today? Was there something, a phrase that you feel like, wow, you know, this is one that I relate to very strongly?
I think for me the first verse, yeah, because like it's never easy feeling like you're so alone and your heart feels like a stone. Because so I feel that like in this whole process of when you're having these kind of struggles, when you're having self-doubt or, you know, going through like mental health condition, a lot of time we always feel alone because there's still a little bit of, I mean, kudos to, you know, all the work that has been done to make talking about this more accessible. But when you're feeling these things, I think you always think that these things are only happening to me lah. Yeah, so that to me was like when I started, like that was the main thing. And also I think to describe like, you know, the idea of being like suffocated. Yeah, it's not a physical thing, but mentally we actually feel like suffocated, like because of all the thoughts, you know, that's swimming in the head. Like I think sometimes it will feel quite like we are at the edge lah, being tipped over the edge. Yeah, so those things are those few lyrics also stood out. And also I think like a bit later as well, like maybe for in terms of like encouraging myself, like turn around, give yourself the permission, and know that you deserve it. Yeah, I think know that like that also was quite it's something that I also hold on to as well. Like to tell myself like when I feel I'm not good enough or I feel like I'm not doing enough, you know, I think to tell myself that like I deserve it, like to combat that against with this truth lah. So that helps.
Is there a song, a copy of this acoustic version of the full-length version available anywhere?
It'll be released on the World Mental Health Day, 10th of October. Or you can just go ahead, if you want to listen to it, tune in to all of Beyond the Labels workshops. You know, there's a lot of things that's lined up from all the way until October. So, yeah.
And the playbacks as well.
Yeah, exactly. You can go and listen to watch back also all the live streams that happened since, I think, last week.
Okay, so I'm going to pose a question to Jolene now. So Jolene, as a listener, and you've not heard this song till very recently, right? So relating to your emotions and feelings, perhaps surrounding, you know, the past couple of days with what's happening with the cases and you know, things happening around us, is there a verse here that you see today that really relates and stands out to you?
I think I really like the phrase that goes, yeah, don't you worry, take your time, take it slowly. You know, because I think, especially in this time where, you know, there's like so many things going on and so many things to do, like we're always rushing from one thing to the other. I think taking that, I think that line there is really a very good reminder for myself. Like just, yeah, you don't have to worry so much, don't have to rush around all the time. You can always just slow down, take your time. Yeah. Thank you, Marcus, for the wonderful words.
Yeah, so for myself, I think I really like the last verse, turn around, give yourself the permission just know that you deserve it. Because I think sometimes we feel like, oh, I will never feel better again. I have been battling this condition for so long. I'm so tired. I don't know when I'll ever get better. And I think with this, first word of turn around, give yourself the permission. It's like someone telling you there is always a way to turn back. There is always a way of coming in and through your emotions. That what you're feeling, what I'm feeling, is temporary, and that it will pass, and that the feeling that we can actually give ourselves the permission to feel overwhelmed, to feel sad because of perhaps what's going on in the world, what's going on right now around us, and that is totally okay. So it's not like some of what we call toxic positivity, where we're just like, it's okay, don't worry, things will get better, and good vibes only, which we all know that this is really not one of the best way to handle difficult emotions, right? The best way to handle difficult emotions sometimes is really to sit with it, to acknowledge it, and knowing that the things will get better. Yeah, it's a really nice song.
I actually have a question for Marcus. Because I think every time when we listen to songs, right, especially when the song really catches you and you really connect with it, or sometimes when you listen to a song, you're like, oh my gosh, that song is singing my life, or that song is singing exactly how I'm feeling, And I think my thought is always, how did you find the words? Was it difficult to find the words to actually, pen down how you felt?
I think, more about the writing process was like at the start, I think I came up with the melody first. And usually for me, that's my process for writing. The melody comes first, and I had the hook, which is the I don't want to be this way, so the title came out first. Then I had this idea of because usually when I compose a melody, I have some kind of placeholder words. So yeah, no, all those was inside already. Yeah, so I had maybe the really rough skeleton out already, and then it was more of because however I felt, I had the whole concept, whatever I shared at the start about the song, that was in my brain already. Then it was more of how do I translate that into words, lor? Yeah, whether it's English or Chinese. Yeah. So Chinese, I managed to get a friend, Xia Lim, to help me to write it. Then actually the Chinese one came first. So based on that also, I got inspiration to write the English version. Yeah, of course English and Chinese is not exactly translated, but it started with this concept of I wanted to write a song to encourage myself that I don't want to be this way. So it's I have the punchline there already.
Something to ground you in that sense.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's more of just filling in everything. Yeah, took a while. It took about 2 days to the first time I sat down to write it. I was I cannot really get something that I was pleased with. But when you get into a flow, then it managed to come out. I think sometimes it took some time also for me as a writer to acknowledge as well, and to be real and be vulnerable, and sometimes also you need to be not the most healthy, but when you feel sad or you feel these emotions, then the stuff will come out. Yeah, and I think what is great is that, see, this is my story. This is what went behind the writing this. But as a listener, I think for yourselves or whoever is listening, you all come with your own stories. So and then when the song is out, I think this was what Ed Sheeran also mentioned. He said my songs, once it's released, it doesn't belong to me only. It belongs to everyone who resonates with it or who has their own story. So they will create their own meaning towards the song. Yeah, and they'll have the story to the song, which I think is beautiful, because I really like this whole not exchange, more of sharing. It's literally sharing this part of, and if it's gonna for this topic in particular, if it's gonna help someone go through what they need to go through, then I think my job is kind of done.
Thank you. So I'm going to go back to the slides again to recap the CLEFT. Okay, so with the CLEFT, I think what Marcus has mentioned is that the context is very important. When did we first come across this song? Where did we first hear the song? Because for us, we heard it in the context of the leading up to a Beyond the Label festival video. And, how do we come across the song? So, people who are going to listen to perhaps Marcus' Mandarin version is going to be very different as well. And people who are going to listen on the album launch day, song launch day, is going to be very different as well. So the way that they establish the relationship with the song will be very different depending on individuals. And as well as what Marcus has mentioned, our own personal stories, right? Like, for Jolene as well, Jolene's personal story and my personal story will be very different while relating to the song. And I think lastly would be the arrangement. Like, I think I would not want to consider the pop version as my favorite because this is my first impression, my first what do you call that?
The first time you hear it, yeah.
The initial bond, I think, with the song. It's this instrumentation and getting me into that pensive mood and listening, especially on today. Yeah. So
I think also it's like with this your CLEFT what are you going to call it? It's like it's not
acronym.
Just acronym, but it's also this process. I think I realize also it's about how you're feeling at that moment too. Other than the song making you feel certain things, but you're feeling you're in a certain place or certain you're going through your own things lah. And then how does this song relate to that as well? Yeah.
Yeah, and that's so true. Like, I think when we listen to music, we might really connect with this song today, and when we listen to it tomorrow, we might not connect in the same way because we might be feeling different emotions, we might be facing different things, and I think that's really the beauty of music, where every time you listen to it, it's like a different experience.
Yeah, like as a listener for myself also, like when I it's really like that lah. Like if you're feeling in love, you're feeling like, oh, I just met this girl. Wow, she's so pretty, right? Then all the love songs suddenly become like, wow, Wonderland, or it feels like super like eye opening, or wow, this I really
every
wish
song
I
is
could,
written for you.
Yeah, like this is exactly how I feel. That kind. I mean, that's a bit of a more light-hearted subject, but I mean that's the beauty of song, right? For in every situation, every scenario, there is something that will fit it lah. Yeah, I mean nowadays also the way the digital platforms work also is like different moods also can describe are suitable for different songs to be played as well. Yeah, so I think that's how for me even. I mean, as a practitioner of music, but also as a consumer and listener, so I think definitely music is a great tool. Yeah, and also definitely to start a conversation. When you share a song, immediately like, oh, I feel you. And if someone else also likes that same song, you immediately feel some kind of connection. Yeah, because you all feel connected because of the song. But you all come from different backgrounds or come from different similar enough feelings, right? So like if you think about the Venn diagram, then your lives intersect because of the song.
Collective consciousness.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what we call that. Yeah, I think for your song, I really look forward to people coming out with versions, like perhaps on TikTok, on some of the other social media platforms, of expressing themselves. How would they actually use this song in their own way as well? Yeah.
And I think I really want to thank you for sharing your song, for even writing this song, because I think when I think it is a rare opportunity, right, that we get to hear your story, the inspiration behind the song, and there are a lot of songwriters now who have come up, to share about their mental health journey. Even people like Shawn Mendes, like Ariana Grande, all of them, they have songs about their mental health journey, and I think when we actually understand the stories, that they have behind those songs, the stories that they want to share, and their own journey with mental health, I think it's really nice, to hear from someone else, and then to hear it in a music form, because I really feel that music is such a powerful medium to express, to convey such important issues, such important emotions. Yeah.
You combine, songs are a combination of like music and lyrics, right? Music alone can really touch someone's heart. Then with the lyrics, with poetry, but music and lyrics, it's like 1 + 1 isn't 2, but it's like much more than that, lah. Yeah, so there is something that unifies, lah. Yeah, pre-COVID days, when we used to have live performances in a stadium, with one song you can get 10,000 people to like sing together or like come together as one. Like, I think that's something very powerful. Or even just like to connect with someone who is feeling alone in their bedroom, just listening to the song. So yeah, I think music is just like a great tool, yeah. And I think that's also my reason why I also want to, my reasoning of why I want to do music as well, to impact and also to share these stories with whoever is out there.
Thank you so much, Marcus. I think we're going to wrap up just your song for now. And just to conclude this little segment, it would be, from what we have shared with Marcus's lyrics, we can see that the songs actually contain a lot of wisdom and very different interpretations and different relationships that we form today just between us three. We have such different relationships with this song. And hopefully through some of our questioning and our conversation, you are also able to pick out some of the common questions that we use that you can actually ask to facilitate meaningful discussions. So such as, how did you first hear about the song? Tell me more. So you would also notice that when we are letting the speakers speak, we don't interrupt. So we don't put in our own assumptions as well. We actually allow them to say as much as they want to, because the objective here is really not for us to teach them or tell them how they should be feeling, but really it is for them to explore how they are feeling, and through their sharing, hopefully they are also able to come with new revelations. Yeah. So we're going to move on to the next song, Yellow, which Marcus has chose today.
It's a Coldplay song that is quite, I think it's a song that we all know before, and then also because of Crazy Rich Asians being done again.
Yes.
So I think this song also strikes a chord with quite a lot of people. So yeah, do you wanna?
Do you want to just share a little bit about why you chose this song today?
Oh, I think this song also like, of course, first, like, I think it's something that we all know, yeah. But also, for me, when I first heard this song, I actually heard not the Coldplay version. I heard a cover done by Tanya Chua. Yeah, that's on, I think last time YouTube days lah. So we were just like, I was just on YouTube like 24/7 lah. Okay, not 24/7, but like quite a lot. Yeah, so I heard this version done by Tanya Chua. It was on the acoustic guitar and with a little bit of like strings at the back, that kind of thing. And you know how Tanya Chua is our local singer-songwriter. Her songs, her music and her singing style is quite enchanting lah. Yeah. So when she sang this song, of course, after that, I went to hear the original version. In comparison, Coldplay's one was more empowering, strong, with the whole band arrangement. So that also served its purpose. But when I was hearing the Tanya Chua, like more stripped down version, I felt a lot more like, I just felt very captivated by the thing lah. And that led me also to want to cover it and also to discover the song more and research about the, like, what does it mean? Why is someone or why is something described as yellow also? Yeah. So then after that also I went to search, the meaning of yellow. Is there any significance? What's the symbolization of yellow? So yellow actually means like to be. I actually have it. It's yellow means. Yellow actually has some negative implications, but I think like to be cowardly and afraid. Yeah, so I was thinking like maybe this means that like the singer or the person who wrote it, like they were actually initially afraid, because if looking at, because the whole song kind of describes a a lover. Some people also online, they also mentioned that Chris Martin is the writer and the lead singer of Coldplay. He wrote it for his wife, Gwyneth Paltrow, who has blonde hair, so yellow. Some people were saying that lah. Yeah. And then also, so at first, yellow being something you're a bit scared, but then at the same time, the lyrics are like, I ran across, I jumped across. So all of these things, even maybe it's like the things that I want to do and I want to behold the beauty, but sometimes I'm a bit scared. Yeah, but I think I went to see some of the interviews done by Coldplay also. They had a lot of different stuff being said. Sometimes I don't know if it's a joke or sometimes it's real lah. But like I think what they mentioned is that Chris Martin in one of the interviews said that like there's not much. He just saw yellow as a very beautiful color. Then he wanted to. It just sounded nice. Yeah. So it could be that also. But for me, when I first interacted with the song, it was more of like I was just captivated by the melody and also by the version lah. Maybe the whole performance by Tanya that led me to hear different versions. So yeah. Because later also, like I think with the Crazy Rich Asians version as well, was sung in the context of a wedding. So then that also set some context to the song also. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Like, I think I really like how you say, when you first encountered it with the Tanya's cover, and it's really like the music really makes such a big difference to the song, right? Like the Coldplay one is like rock. It's a full band, more driving, more you just get more energy from it. But sometimes if that's not something you need, Tanya, I think that's why you really connected with Tanya's version. Yes.
But for me, it's like that was the start. Yeah, but then that led me to discover the song more. So yeah. So and I realized, it's also it's done very differently, and there's also a beauty in that version as well. But that initial discovery of the song led me to go and find out more. Yeah. So there are also certain sites, right? I think you all mentioned. For me, I use song meanings lah. Song meanings
song meanings
from
right?
last time until now, like this 10 years ago, right? Until now, it's still around.
It's great.
Now Genius also has, but I most of the time is song meanings for me. But I guess you can use all these three, or sometimes just Google search lah.
Yeah.
Or like listening to certain interviews. Like for me, I love to listen to interviews by the songwriter, the singer. So sometimes on YouTube, whether it's a radio station or a website, they will usually pose some of these questions to them. Yeah, and then hearing them share, or just maybe sometimes even like all these websites also other people also chime in, also share about their interpretation. So there's no right or wrong, right? It's all about like how the song impacts you. So if their interpretation or their explanation also speaks to you, then it makes sense, no? Yeah. Then it is correct for you.
Yeah, I think absolutely. So some of the sites that we are sharing right now, Song Meanings, Song Facts, Genius, they are just really some of the website suggestions that we have put up today. If you would like to find out a little bit about the lyrics and song meanings for certain songs that you like a lot, because sometimes we want to forge deeper connections with the singer-songwriter, and we don't have a singer-songwriter next to us all the time, so we have to do some homework. And what's really nice about these websites is that a lot of these comments are also crowdsourced, so they could be people who have input and into the short phrases and certain words that are being mentioned. They might give context. One of the really nice examples that I love to give is songs like by Taylor Swift. So she's very known for putting Easter eggs in her songs, very cryptic references to this and that. And if you don't listen closely enough, or if you don't understand her or not been with her journey since when she first started, then you may not pick up a lot of the references. But once you search the meaning and understand, and it's like a totally different song, sometimes a totally different thing that she might be talking about. So I think lyric interpretations is really useful for people who want to use lyric analysis and discussion as a tool for self-help. So if you're not comfortable talking to a friend, or it's not convenient for you to to have a conversation with somebody, sometimes finding relations to the lyrics through some of these websites can be very helpful.
Yeah, I think it just creates conversation, right? We thought about like just
Yeah.
creating or starting the conversation. So if you see maybe a friend share about the song, or by you sharing a song, someone might like comment, "Oh, I like that song." They say, "Hey,
Yeah.
did you know that?" Da, 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 da. Or you know, if it's like someone else sharing, it's like, "Oh, I really love this song too." And then all these facts are kind of like your ammo or your or talking points, you know, to start a conversation. And like after this, maybe discussing that, then it's like, "Hey, actually, why do you like this song? Like, how come it means so much?" Then I guess it's an easier entry. Sometimes, you know, even when we show concern, like, "Oh, how are you recently?" Sometimes, as I mentioned, you know, in the like it's a bit hard. Like if we are feeling like a certain way, or if we are having a hard time, we might not open up directly, even with a "how are you?" Yeah. So through the song, maybe it's like it's an easier entry point. It's an easier way to get started lah. Yeah. Or sometimes for me, like when I see someone share, last time. I don't know how the audience is, but last time when I was younger, we used MSN, right? So last time in MSN, we could write, usually we like put certain, just like one phrase of lyrics. Yeah. So from that, then you can kind of like second guess or like try to guess what the other person is like kind of going through.
Oh, totally, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So by the song, like maybe someone will share, maybe they share Yellow, then they're like, maybe, okay, this person is like getting married, or like, you know, maybe in that mood of like love. But maybe someone, if they share maybe my song or a song about like maybe Shawn Mendes, you know, In My Blood, that kind of thing, then it's like maybe it's a cry for help also. I mean, I have been in situations where also I feel quite discouraged, or what. I hear a song that I like that is talking about this, I share it, then I mean, if people who know me, then they were like, "Oh, hey, actually, like, hey, how are you?" or something kind of thing. So these are things where we can, even as friends, you know, or family of our loved ones, we can look out for. So we can use songs not just as a tool to discuss, but also when we see someone's playlist, it also informs us of their journey or whatever the experiences that they are feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think recently I've discovered that Instagram music is now working. Not sure working for all everyone.
Yeah,
or-
working for, I think now
It works
it's
for
like,
me.
Yeah, it works, yeah.
So I was very excited because now I can actually share snippets of songs and lyrics, you know,
Yeah.
together with stories,
Yeah.
or you know, some other platforms like TikTok as well. You could do that. It's very helpful, and yes, you're right. It's very telling sometimes when people are talking about this. So I was going to touch on that. You know, what do you do much later on? But I'm just going to shout out to the Bell Helpbot, which is the one by you know, by Beyond the Label. So Bell Helpbot is really something really amazing. I just tried it yesterday as well. It's very easy to use, and it really connects you to the mental health resources and services in a very easy manner. It's like talking to a friend. So there is the QR code over here. So if you feel like you are using the lyrics analysis and you are, you know, connecting so intensely with it that you feel, oh, I need to talk to more people about this. Somebody, it's not just about me and the music anymore. Bell is really one of the best starting points for you to get contact and resources, because the last thing we want to know is to feel alone, right? And you're really not alone, that there are a lot of such resources available. So, and Belle is, you know, Belle has everything. So she can help you out very well.
Go and scan now.
So we're going to go back to the Yellow lyrics again. And so one of the things is, you know, coming back to the CLEFT, the 5 points of discussion. Jolene, do you have anything you want to add or check with Marcus?
I want to ask, if when you listen to the song now, what does it remind you of?
Now, honestly, my connection to this, because of the Crazy Rich Asians, I just see that the water going down the aisle, yeah, like filling up the space, yeah. So for me, when I think of that, then it reminds me of like a happy moment, yeah. So when I hear this song, I feel it's like I just link it very strongly to like commitment, lor. Yeah, I just maybe I see, not I feel, or is it I don't know if this is accurate, but like I mean I see this word lah, or like I feel or this sense of like, okay, this song is about commitment. It's about because wedding, right? And then it's like at that place. So then plus also with the visual of like from the movie as well.
Yeah. So it's really good. Thank you for sharing that. So we're going to go into questions very soon. And please do send some of your questions over. But before that, I want to thank Marcus and Jolene for, sharing so much of, your experiences and your relations to music and how music lyric analysis can be used to facilitate meaningful discussions. So first question by Woohoo815. What's the difference between a music therapist and a counselor? So I will let Jolene take the question.
All right. So, music therapist versus a counselor. For music therapists, we do have trainings in counseling. We do have to learn all the theories that counselors do go through. But for music therapists, what we do is that we actually use music as a medium. So we use music more actively in our sessions. Whether is it for lyric analysis, like what we shared, it could be songwriting. We could write songs with our clients. We could do improvisations. We can do song sharing, just listening to existing songs, and all of that with an end goal of actually processing, perhaps in that session, processing difficult topics, like things. I think today this lyric analysis, this little acronym of CLEFT, right? It's really nice because I think when we bring out songs, it actually helps to facilitate that expression, helps to facilitate that discussion, such that even we can actually talk about difficult topics a lot easier. Things like grief, things like loss, things like struggles. Those are hard things to get to. Those are difficult things to acknowledge, to even speak about. But when we use music, it's really a smoother and a easier way of getting there, of actually processing it.
Do you want to just share a little bit also about the scope of training the counselors receive and scope of training that music therapists receive? So because it's essentially quite different, very different professions, and we do work very closely with counselors as well. And counselors can definitely use music to facilitate such discussions. And this is why we have come up with this really great 5-point discussion points for anyone. So whether you're a teacher, a counselor, somebody in social work as well, to find out a little bit more.
Yeah, I think music is definitely is not something that only music therapists can use. No, I think it's something that all of us can use. It's around us all the time. We assess it, we listen to it all the time. So music is definitely something that can be used by everyone. But I think for music therapists in our training, we are trained to be very attuned to music, very attuned to like even our music choice for a certain occasion, or actually facilitating discussions, or we are talking about the process, of processing and things like that. So I would say for counselors, it's a lot of verbal. So perhaps there's a lot of like talking, a lot of questions. But sometimes I do find that especially when we talk about difficult topics, it's very hard to find the words to describe things. It's very hard to find words to actually express it. And I think that's where I'm privileged, as a music therapist, to be able to bring in music in these settings.
Thank you, Jolene. Okay, Woohoo815, another question. Also, where can someone see a music therapist? So I would like to refer to the slide of the AMTS slide initially. So over here, we will have an Instagram account where you can find our website, or musictherapy.org.sg is the website for us to, if you would like to find a music therapist. We work across a variety of settings, from special education to medical facilities, hospitals, community settings, hospice, palliative care. We have, I think, quite a lot of music therapists working in a wide variety of settings. So depending on your needs, you can actually find them on the directory on the website. Yeah. Okay, another question by Emily Sue. Should I avoid certain music genre when I'm feeling sad or angry? Marcus, what is your take on this?
Um, I think the genre. Okay, I think because I remember Jolene just now, or was it Evelyn? You were sharing about when sometimes when you're feeling a certain way, it might not be a bad thing to like sort of like empower the emotion, correct? Right?
Yes.
So if you're feeling worse, you're feeling quite sad and angry, if you listen to a sad, angry song, it allows you to express that through music. So I wouldn't say like you should avoid, unless you're telling me that maybe you have an interview coming in about next few minutes or next hour, and you're feeling very sad and angry, then you don't want to like process it right there and then. But I think I feel like when you avoid a certain thing like that also is like avoid you're kind of avoiding your emotions also lah.
Yeah.
So I would say like it's okay if you music is music, right? You know, consume the music according to what you like. If there's a genre that you like, you can just go ahead, feel free to listen. But I think music is it's how we process the emotions afterwards that is more important. Yeah.
Thank you. I think, yeah. So what Marcus has just mentioned is that music can also be used to validate your feelings.
Okay.
Right.
that's the word.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to perhaps just phrase it into something different. So using music to validate your feelings, and sometimes it can be quite cathartic as well. So I want to ask Jolene, are there any red flags for music genres? If one is listening to music continuously, any red flags to take note of?
Yeah, so I think that question is quite interesting because I think when you talk about avoiding certain music genres, I think when it comes to music genres, perhaps sometimes, even for myself, I think I have to admit that, we might associate like, oh, if you're listening to heavy metal, you're maybe, very frustrated, very angry, it's just a lot of power in there. But also, I think when like sadness and anger doesn't have to be a certain genre doesn't always have that emotion. I think, it's like sad songs doesn't have to be slow. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many other songs that when you listen to it, you know that there's that intense emotion of sadness in there. So I think it's not really about what genre, if you're angry, don't go near rock or whatever. But I think it's more of if that particular song, you feel that particular song, when you listen to it, you find yourself feeling more distress. You feel yourself perhaps tearing and getting more anxiety, getting panic, or even like physically, if your body gets a bit more tense, you start,
Curling in bed.
yeah, I think all those are signs. And when you start to notice that you are feeling like that, I think that's where I think that's what we term as red flag songs,
Yeah.
where perhaps you can stop
Red flag listening, really, not red flag songs.
red flag listening. And then what we would suggest to do is to stop the music and then put that song aside for now, and perhaps next time if you feel that, oh, okay, I think today I want to go back, I want to listen back to that song, I want to try it again, and then you can always go back to the song. Yes.
Thank you. Okay, coming to next question, Zach Ho. Can I go for music therapy instead of normal therapy? I'll take this question. It really depends. If you are under a medical care by your doctors, you should listen to what doctor says. And you could mention music therapy and say, hey, I know of this modality, music therapy, can it work? And then the best way to do it is really to drop the association a message, or to find out that if you are under a treatment facility or a clinic, to find out if they have referrals that they can put through to a music therapist. So I would say, to sum up, Zach, it really depends. Yeah. Okay. Yasmin, a question for us. How can I, as a singer-songwriter, reach out to you so that I can also help with some of your efforts, since you have mentioned a couple of times that you hardly get to meet singer-songwriters who can speak about their lyrics? I mentioned earlier that I wrote and released 4 songs this year about my own mental health journey. How can I help you? You can drop us an email at the association. But also, I think one of the really great ways is that we usually collaborate with Beyond the Label for a lot of these workshops and activities. Last year, we also had a 3 a.m. music collective to talk about their own songwriting processes. And I believe later on this week, there's also a songwriting workshop that's happening. So if anyone is interested or inspired to pick up songwriting, to express their feelings, I think that would be a really nice workshop to check out. But yeah, do drop us an email. Pyron Xie, as someone with chronic anxiety, I like to find music that I could connect to with my feelings. One day, I just sat down and made a playlist of these songs to binge on when I'm feeling down. It grew to almost 50 songs, and I even arranged my songs so that the titles spell a message. Wow, that's a lot of effort. Okay, any comments, Jolene?
Oh, it's just wonderful that that I think I applaud you for putting together 50 songs into one playlist. Like, wow, that is really a lot. But yeah, I think that's the power of music, right? When I think this whole session we've talked about it a lot. And also I think when we start to use music in this way, I think that's why as music therapists, when we meet clients, we would always use our client preferred songs, because it's not that there's a particular song to listen to help you relax, or there's a particular song to listen to help you to calm down. But it's all about what is this music? What does it mean to you? And what kind of songs do you like?
Yeah, and to just add on, I hope that you actually feel better after compiling the playlist and listening to it. So if it does not make you feel better, then perhaps it's time to rearrange the songs, because the order of the message doesn't really matter as much as how you feel at the end of listening to the playlist. All right, so we have got the last question, and I would like to invite Marcus and Jolene to share some of your closing thoughts and statements about lyric analysis. What have you learned, or how do you feel about using song discussion, especially CLEFT, to open doors to meaningful discussions? Marcus.
First of all, I'm really happy to be part of this discussion. So thanks, Evelyn and Jolene, for having me. And thank you to Beyond the Label as well. I think after going through your sharing about CLEFT, I think that's a great way to start conversations. And I think for me, I just feel very privileged to be part of this discussion, and also to use my music, to share, and also to be part of this kind of discussions, to share life, and for us to interact and connect with people. So I think thank you also for the work that you are doing for
Thank you.
the world.
And Jolene?
Yeah, I think it's just great to have such a space to talk about mental health, to talk about music, because it's just music. I always find music is a very special thing. It's not just an object or a song that is in my phone, but really I think I really resonate with how music can be our companion, and as music therapists, I think we also feel that music is a great resource for all of us to use in our daily life, in wherever we are, whether is it with someone or is it for ourselves. And it's great that Beyond the Label is advocating for mental health, because there is always more work to be done. So yes, thank you everyone so much.
So for those people for those questions that we have not attended to, Beyond the Label will respond to your queries separately. Thank you so much for your participation. And that's all from us today. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Done its journey, just know that you deserve it. Look ahead and keep on walking, walking towards the light. Oh yeah, stop this thinking, take a breath, stop your doubting. No, don't you see, toxicity and worrying has no meaning. I don't wanna be this way. Help me find the happy side of me, of me. Help me find the stronger part of me, of me. Turn around, give yourself the permission. Just know that you deserve it. But sometimes I get scared and dismissive. Don't wanna be this way. Don't wanna be this way, yeah. Don't you worry. Take your time, take it slowly. No, don't give in so easily. Yeah, you deserve to be free, yeah. Stop this thinking. Take a breath, stop your doubting. No, don't you see, toxicity and worrying has no meaning. I don't wanna be this way. It's never easy feeling like you're so alone, and your heart feels like a stone. Think about it night and day, wondering if you'll be okay. I'm here in this place once again, suffocating. It's drowning me too deep. I know I've gotta stop this, so yeah, don't you worry. Take your time, take it slowly. No, don't give in so easily. Yeah, you deserve to be free, yeah. Stop this thinking, take a breath, stop your doubting. No, don't you see, toxicity and worrying has no meaning. I don't wanna be this way. Navigating through the clutter in my mind, I do this all the time. Think about all you've done, it's a journey. Just know that you deserve it. Look ahead and keep on walking, walking towards the light. Oh yeah, stop this thinking, take a breath, stop your doubting. No, don't you see, toxicity and worrying has no meaning. I don't wanna be this way. Help me find the happy side of me, of me. Help me find the stronger part of me, of me. Turn around, give yourself the permission. Just know that you deserve it. But sometimes I get scared and dismissive. Don't wanna be this way. Don't wanna be this way, yeah. Don't you worry. Take your time, take it slowly. No, don't give in so easily. Yeah, you deserve to be free, yeah. Stop this thinking, take a breath, stop your doubting. No, don't you see, toxic